Hey, what's up? How you doing? It's your friend Phil here, project management trainer and coach. I hope you're doing great today. Welcome to 40 Days to PMP and CAPM exam success. Today we're going to look at two processes from integration management, and these two processes are monitor and control project work and perform integrated change control. Now these are integrative processes that are used to integrate everything else in project management with this specific process group. And this process group that we're in is the monitoring and controlling process group. So welcome to the monitoring and controlling process group. Now this is one of those process groups that only has 11 processes but is huge on the exam. For that reason, I would highly advise you to pay close attention to the recurring themes in monitoring and controlling as we go through. But these first two processes in integration are a little bit different. The first one, monitor and control project work, is all about monitoring and controlling the project work in an integrative fashion. Now, if you take a look at the data flow diagram for monitor and control project work in the PMBOK guide, you'll see that several outputs from the monitoring and controlling processes are an input to this process, monitor and control project work. I'm talking specifically about work performance information. This is the process where work performance information is an input to. It is the only process where work performance information is an input. For that reason, pay close attention to it. Pay close attention to it because you'll see so many processes with work performance information as an output, but you'll only find one with work performance information as an input, and this is it. Now you'll also find the process, this process, giving you as an output work performance reports. It is the process where you get work performance reports. It's the only process that gives you work performance reports. So it's very unique. The only process where WPI is an input, the only process where WPR is an output. And I would like you to pay close attention to all the places that use work performance reports as an input. For example, managed communications needs these work performance reports to distribute the reports, to disseminate the information in the reports. So work performance reports is very important. You'll find it in a number of other processes. Please do your homework and check all these out. Now, in addition to this, I would also like to call your attention to the fact that PMIS appears here again. Project Management Information System. We saw this in direct and managed project work. You see this again as a tool and technique. So monitor and control project work is a very, very important process. It's pivotal to putting the reports together, to report to management, to clarify to stakeholders what is happening on the project. Some of the other inputs that are very important: the schedule forecasts and cost forecasts that come from control schedule and control cost respectively. These are inputs here. Also, validated changes from control quality is another input. A validated change is a change that has been inspected into a deliverable and confirmed to be correct. Validated changes. So those inputs that I've mentioned, make sure you go over them. Also, analytical techniques is another technique that's used in this process. The outputs, I've already talked about WPR, work performance reports, but also be aware that change requests could be an output from this process too. You also have your regular project management plan updates and project documents updates. Let's talk about perform integrated change control, the next process we're talking about today. Perform integrated change control is huge. You'll get lots of questions about change management on your exam. one of the few processes that sensitizes you to change management is this one. It's perform integrated change control. So whatever questions you get on the exam, be ready to tackle them with the information from this process in particular. Now, there are lots of other processes of project management that give you change requests as an output, but this is the only process that gives you change requests as an input. It is the only process where you see change requests going in to the process. And these change requests from all of these different processes should be analyzed. This is the process where you do that. The body of people who approve or reject change requests are known as the Change Control Board, the CCB. The CCB will take a look at a change request that is often sent in by a project manager, for example, along with a recommendation of whether the change request should be implemented, what the stakes are for implementing the request. Will it create additional problems on the project? Will it add additional time? Is this really added scope? And will it lead to added cost? Will it lead to complications? All of those questions that need to be answered will be answered. And the Change Control Board will make the final decision as to whether to approve or reject a change request. So you'll find as an input to this process change requests, but you'll also find as an input work performance reports. And these work performance reports will clarify if a change request should be implemented or not, based on how the project team is performing on the project. A work performance report that shows an SPI of 0.75 will kind of give the Change Control Board an idea that you're already behind. Maybe you're behind schedule and you're over budget as well. Well, that work performance report could help them decide whether to move ahead with a change request or not. Or there may be other aspects of the report that go even beyond time and cost that will help guide the CCB as to whether to implement a change or not. So the inputs, like I said, your change requests, your work performance reports, project management plan, of course, the usual suspects, EEFs and OPAs. The major tool and technique that is used here is called change control tools. And change control tools could refer to manual or automated tools for managing change, for managing these change request reviews on a project. An example tool I've used in the past, Change Point, and it's like a virtual table passing around a request for review. The outputs of this process perform integrated change control are approved change requests, because if the change request is approved, you get an approved change request. Also, change log is another important output of this process. The change log is going to become an input further downstream. Make sure you see where that goes. Check it out in the PMBOK guide, and then we've got the regular project management plan updates, project documents updates that we are well aware of. And those are really our two processes for today. Monitor and control project work and perform integrated change control. So I hope this helped you gain clarity on these two processes. Very important processes, by the way, because integration is what everything revolves around. It's all about integrating the work. There's no point in doing great work and not being able to integrate it, to get your cohesive whole, to get your final deliverable. That's what these integration processes are all about. So after this, anyway, we have one more integration process, which is closed project or phase, that we will be encountering in our final process group. Thanks for your audience today, and speak to you again soon.